Alright, so I got a question. Is Justin Jefferson the best wide receiver in the NFL? I think he absolutely belongs in the conversation. He thinks he can have the NFL's first 2,000-yard receiving season. The start to his career is similar to that of Vikings legend Randy Moss. And I'd say the comparison isn't wild. In just 2 years as Minnesota's top target, he's not only replaced Stefon Diggs' production, but he's topped it. The guy's lightning fast with good hands, good height, and he runs good routes. Nothing against Kirk Cousins, but imagine he'd played with a top-tier quarterback. So, just 2 seasons into his career, Jefferson already has an argument as the league's best wideout. And going into his 3rd season, the guy's aiming to have the best year a receiver's ever had. Jefferson said he wants to be the first player in NFL history to reach 2,000 receiving yards in 1 year. Personally, I think he can do it. Mind you, if Justin Jefferson was going to try to jump a motorcycle over a bus, I would think he could do it also. I think most people can do anything if they try. And if they fail, well, at least they tried. I partnered with Ultra Game for this giveaway for this Ultra Game NFL Men's Raglan Baseball 3/4 long sleeve t-shirt. Ultra Game partners with major sports leagues and franchises to bring you officially licensed gear at down-to-earth prices. They sent me one of these t-shirts and I love it. It's fantastic to work out in. So check the link in the description. To enter the contest, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and answer this question in the comments section. What was Justin Jefferson's PFF grade in 2021? The giveaway is going to run from August 20th to August 25th, and there can be only one winner. The prize is going to be shipped to a US address only, so unfortunately if you live in Canada like me or somewhere else, you're not eligible, so go suck an egg. The details and links are in the description. Now I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Before we start examining the claim that Justin Jefferson might be the best receiver in the league, let's find out who the guy is. Jefferson attended Destrian High School in Destrian, Louisiana. He then committed to LSU to play college ball. After appearing in only 2 games and not recording a catch in his first year in 2017, Jefferson was the leading receiver in 2018 with 54 catches for 875 yards and 6 touchdowns. As a junior in 2019, Jefferson led the country with 111 receptions. His 18 receiving touchdowns ranked 2nd in the country, behind only teammate Ja'Marr Chase, and his 1,540 receiving yards were 3rd most. The guy had an incredible performance at the Peach Bowl, catching 14 passes for 227 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Sooners. All 4 touchdowns came in the first half and set a college football playoff game record and tied the record for any bowl game. In the national championship game against Clemson, he had 9 receptions for 106 yards in the 42-25 victory. Then on January 15th, 2020, Jefferson announced he would forego his senior season and enter the NFL draft. Jefferson was selected by the Minnesota Vikings in the 1st round with the 22nd pick overall in the 2020 NFL draft. The Vikings previously got the 22nd overall pick when they traded Stefon Diggs to the Buffalo Bills. Jefferson went on to sign a 4-year, $13 million contract with the team with a $7.1 million signing bonus. He made his debut in Week 1 against the Green Bay Packers, recording 2 receptions for 26 yards. He went on to make his first start of the season in Week 3 against the Tennessee Titans, where he had his big breakout game by finishing with 175 receiving yards and a touchdown on 7 receptions, while introducing the gritty to the NFL. He followed up that performance the next week with 4 receptions for 103 yards and a win over the Houston Texans. By doing so, he became just the 5th rookie wide receiver in Vikings history to have back-to-back 100-yard receiving games. In a Week 6 game against the Atlanta Falcons, Jefferson finished with 9 receptions for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then in Week 13 against the Jaguars, Jefferson recorded 9 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown during a 27-24 overtime win. This is the game that he broke the 1,000-yard receiving mark. In Week 15 against the Chicago Bears, Jefferson broke Randy Moss's rookie receiving record by catching 8 passes, putting him at 74 for the season, surpassing the 69 catches Moss had in 98. By the end of the season, Jefferson had set the NFL record for most receiving yards by a rookie in NFL history, after surpassing Anquan Bolden's 1,377 yards in 2003. Although his record would be broken by his former LSU teammate Ja'Marr Chase the following season. He was one of only 2 rookies named to the 2021 Pro Bowl, alongside defensive end Chase Young. He was also named Rookie of the Year by the Sporting News, but I don't know if that actually counts. Jefferson's second season started strong, putting up 100 receiving yards against Seattle, Detroit, and the Chargers over the first 8 games of the season. In Week 11, Jefferson had 8 catches for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns in a win over the Green Bay Packers, earning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Then in Week 13, Jefferson caught 11 passes for 182 yards and a touchdown in a loss to the Detroit Lions. Jefferson's 464 yards and 3 touchdowns through 4 games in the month of November earned him NFC Offensive Player of the Month. This was the first of his career. During Week 16, Jefferson passed Odell Beckham Jr. for most receiving yards by a player in his first 2 NFL seasons. Jefferson finished the season with 1,616 receiving yards, good for second most in the NFL in 2021, and just 16 short of Randy Moss's single-season franchise record. Jefferson was named to the 2022 Pro Bowl, joining Randy Moss and Sammy White as the only 3 Vikings wide receivers to make Pro Bowls in each of their first 2 professional seasons. So, could Justin Jefferson be the best receiver in the league? Alright, for starters, Jefferson leads all players in receiving yards since entering the league, as the 5th receiver drafted in 2020 with 3,016 yards. He's done that despite ranking 7th in targets over that time span and playing in an offense that prioritizes the run over the pass. The Vikings were the 8th most run-heavy offense over the past 2 years. Yards per route run is one of the best stats to measure a receiver's efficiency and explosiveness. These are the leaders in the regular season since 2020 among players with at least 200 targets. Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and Cooper Kupp. Davante Adams is the king of yards per route run over the last 2 seasons, but it's worth remembering that he caught passes from Aaron Rodgers, who was the league's MVP in both of those seasons. Let's see if his efficiency drops now that he's playing with Derek Carr in Las Vegas. What about the Pro Football Focus receiving grade over the past 2 seasons? Jefferson is again only trailing Adams. The 3 best PFF grades when lined up in the slot last year were from Cooper Kupp, Davante Adams, and Justin Jefferson. But Jefferson only trails Adams in the grade when lined up on the outside since he entered the league. Against man coverage, Jefferson is again in the top 3, and nobody has a better grade against press coverage. When he's faced press coverage, he's gained 3.27 yards per route run and generated 129.5 passer rating. He's also got 9 more explosive plays than any other receiver over the last 2 seasons in those situations. Jefferson's already got elite route running skills and the ability to defeat aggressive man coverage. He's also extremely good after the catch. He's broken 22 tackles after the catch since entering the league. As you saw at LSU, Jefferson is great in the slot and on the outside, especially in press coverage. He's great against zone coverage, he gets open, breaks tackles after the catch, and makes contested catches down the field. The only area Jefferson can improve is in the touchdown department. He's got 17 in 33 games, largely because Adam Thielen dominates targets in the red zone. Based on the numbers and film, the only players in the conversation with Jefferson for the best wide receiver in the NFL are Davante Adams, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and Tyreek Hill. Players like A.J. Brown and Stefon Diggs are just outside the top tier. Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase produced at elite levels in 2021, but they didn't do it in 2020 like Jefferson. In Chase's case, it was because he wasn't in the league yet. Tyreek Hill is a unique player because of his speed, but his advanced metrics and all-around game doesn't quite match up with Jefferson. If you want to call Davante Adams the best receiver in the league, it'd be hard to argue with. But the difference in quarterback quality between Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins can't be ignored. Jefferson has more yards on fewer targets playing with an inferior quarterback. That's the case in his favor. Going into just his 3rd NFL season, Jefferson's aiming to have the best year receivers ever had. Jefferson wants to be the first player in NFL history to reach 2,000 receiving yards in 1 year. Only 2 receivers in NFL history have eclipsed 1,900 receiving yards in a season. The first was Calvin Johnson when he reached 1,964 yards in 2012. The second was Cooper Kupp, who had 1,947 yards this past season, which was the first year the NFL played a 17-game season. In 2020, Jefferson broke the Vikings rookie receiving record when he logged 1,400 receiving yards. In 2021, he had 108 catches for 1,616 receiving yards and didn't miss a game all year. If he can keep improving and quarterback Kirk Cousins and new coach Kevin O'Connell run a pass-heavy offense, Jefferson might have a shot to get 2,000 yards. Over the past 3 seasons, the Vikings have ranked 18th, 27th, and 29th in passing percentage. It'll be interesting to see if that number climbs under O'Connell, whose Rams ranked 14th in 2021. The running game with Dalvin Cook will still be a huge part of the Vikings offense, but I imagine we'll see fewer runs on 2nd and long. Regardless of who you believe is the league's best wide receiver, Jefferson is right there at the top and should continue to get better as he enters his 3rd season. This is his first with an offensive-minded head coach leading the team. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Later.